All right, let's talk about something we've all felt. That's super weird, super painful, you know it, the dreaded brain freeze.
Oh, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You're just trying to enjoy a milkshake or some ice cream, maybe a little too fast, and then BAM! It's like an ice pick just got jabbed right between your eyes.
And it's gone almost as fast as it came, usually in like 30 seconds. But man, for that half minute, it feels like your head's in a vice. So what on earth is actually happening inside our skulls? Let's unpack the science.
Okay, first things first, brain freeze has a ridiculously complicated scientific name. Ready for this? It's called sphenopalatine ganglioneuralgia. Yeah, try saying that one at a party. It's a mouthful, but it basically just means nerve pain coming from a big bundle of nerves way back behind your nose.
But here's the first big shocker. Despite the name brain freeze, your actual brain isn't freezing, not even close. In fact, your brain can't even feel pain. So the name is totally misleading. The real story is way cooler, and honestly, it's all about a little biological mix-up.
So let's get into it. Let's break down this big mistake your brain is making and the fascinating science behind that very unique feeling.
Okay, so think of this as a chain reaction, right? It all starts with a cold shock. That super cold smoothie hits the very warm roof of your mouth. Instantly, your blood vessels react. They kind of freak out. They rapidly squeeze shut, and then just as quickly, they fly back open. That sudden change sets off all these little alarm bells, pain receptors that start screaming. And here's the key part, the crossed wires. A pain signal gets shot up to your brain, but your brain, well, it gets the address wrong.
So, the nerve that's carrying this emergency message is called the trigeminal nerve. It's like a super highway for sensations in your face. It has all these different branches, these off-ramps that go everywhere, your forehead, your cheeks, and you guessed it, the roof of your mouth.
And this is where the mix-up happens. The pain signal is coming from the roof of the mouth off-ramp, but your brain, for whatever reason, thinks the call is coming from a different off-ramp, the one that services your forehead and temples. This is a perfect example of something called referred pain.
It's exactly like the quote says. It's like getting a phone call where the caller ID is just wrong. The pain is 100% real, no doubt about it, but your brain is just pointing the finger at the wrong spot. A simple case of mistaken identity that happens in a flash.
So you've got to be asking, why? Why do our bodies have this weird, seemingly flawed system? Well, it turns out it's not a bug at all. It's a feature, a really, really old feature, basically an ancient warning system.
The thinking is that this whole thing is probably an evolutionary leftover. I mean, think about it. For our ancient ancestors, maybe trying to eat snow or ice to get water, this reflex would have been a lifesaver. That initial tightening of the blood vessels, that was to protect the brain from a sudden dangerous drop in temperature. And that sharp pain in the head, that was a clear, unmissable signal to, whoa, stop, slow down, what you're eating is way too cold.
And here's a twist you probably didn't see coming. This little annoying headache, it's actually super important for scientists.
Yeah, think about it. You can start and stop a brain freeze on command in a lab. You can't really do that with, say, a migraine. So it's become this perfect, harmless way for researchers to study how blood flow and nerve signals create these really intense headaches. It's helping us understand much more serious conditions.
Okay, so we know what's happening and we know why. Now for the part you've probably been waiting for. How do you make it go away?
All right, the #1 goal is to warm up the roof of your mouth and do it fast. You gotta tell those blood vessels to just calm down. The quickest trick in the book? Press your warm tongue right up against the roof of your mouth. A sip of a lukewarm drink works great too. Or, in a pinch, just cover your mouth and breathe through your nose so that warm air hits the spot.
But you know what they say, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, and it's really simple. Remember how it's all caused by that super rapid temperature change? Well, the trigger is speed. So the absolute best way to prevent a brain freeze is to just slow down. Seriously, smaller bites, smaller sips, let your mouth get used to the cold. So there you go. The next time that icy headache hits, instead of just being annoyed, maybe you can appreciate it for what it is. It's not a flaw in your system. It's a clever, ancient alarm bell that's just getting its wires a little crossed, thanks to ice cream. Kind of makes you wonder, right? What other totally normal, everyday feelings are actually hiding some amazing, complex science just under the surface?